This is a short video on using production possibility frontier analysis to show opportunity costs through marginal analysis. So what does this marginal word mean? It's quite an important term in economics. Marginal means one extra or one more. What happens at the margin if one more is consumed or one less is produced, or that's what marginal means. The most common applications of marginal in economics are marginal utility, which would be the increase in total utility generated when an extra unit of output is produced. Marginal cost would be the increase in total cost caused by the production of an extra unit. Marginal revenue would be the increase in total revenue created by selling an extra unit of output. So in summary then, what does marginal mean? It means one extra or one more or one less. What happens if we change something by 1 unit? That's what marginal means. Production possibility frontier data can also be set out in a table. It doesn't always have to be a graph. So we'll assume that in this situation we're going to be operating on the edge of a production possibility frontier, and the economy in question can produce butter or guns. And because we're operating on the edge of the frontier, there are no idle factors of production. So let's have a look at some PPF data set out in a table. So we've got butter, guns. Let's imagine that if we produce only guns and put all of our factors of production into producing guns, we can produce 3 guns. The opportunity cost of that decision is that we're giving up butter. Our output of butter will be 0. We can't produce any butter if all of our factors of production are going into producing guns. So let's imagine that consumer preferences move in favour of butter. So we want to start producing butter. What would be the opportunity cost of producing this first unit of butter? Well, we're going to have to take factors of production out of guns to move them into butter so that we can start making butter. If we do that, the output of guns is going to fall. And the reduction in the output of guns is the opportunity cost of producing this first unit of butter. So in numbers, the opportunity cost of producing this first unit is 0.2 guns lost or given up. Let's keep moving forward. So imagine now that we want to produce a second unit of butter. So that will require more factors of production being moved out of guns so that they can be moved into butter. So if we do that, the output of guns falls again to 2.4. So we could say in total, the opportunity cost of producing 2 units of butter is 0.6 of a gun given up. However, if we wanted to look at the marginal opportunity cost of going from 1 unit of butter to 2 units of butter, we can see that the opportunity cost of producing that second unit, just the marginal opportunity cost of producing that second unit, is that output has fallen from 2.8 to 2.4. So the marginal opportunity cost is 0.4 guns given up. As I say, in total, the opportunity cost of producing both units of butter is 0.6, but the marginal opportunity cost of producing the second only is 0.4 units of guns given up. Let's keep moving forward. So if we want to produce a third unit of butter, then we need to move even more factors of production out of guns. If we do that, we won't be able to produce as many guns. So in my imaginary world here, output of guns falls again to 1.6. So we could say that in total, the opportunity cost of producing all 3 units of butter is 1.4 units of guns given up. That's basically 3 minus 1.6. That's what we're giving up. However, if we want to look at the opportunity cost, the marginal opportunity cost of producing the 3rd unit of butter alone, just this one extra unit, then output of guns has fallen from 2.4 to 1.6. So we've actually lost 0.8 of a unit. So the marginal opportunity cost of producing the 3rd unit is 0.8 of a gun given up. Again, just to hammer the point home, let's imagine that we want to produce a 4th unit of butter. That would involve moving everything out of guns. So we've not got any factors of production producing guns at all. So the output of guns falls to 0. So the opportunity cost in total of producing all 4 units of butter is 3 guns given up. But if we look at the margin, the opportunity cost, the marginal opportunity cost of producing just the 4th unit alone is 1.6 guns given up. This is the concept of marginality. So the next thing that we'll look at is how we can use marginal analysis using a production possibility frontier diagram. In this case, my fictitious economy can produce either NHS healthcare or housing. Let's start at point A. So at point A, all of our factors of production are going into producing NHS healthcare. There are none lying idle. Everything's in healthcare. We can produce 100 units of healthcare, but because there are no factors of production going into housing, our output of housing will be 0. So society maybe makes the wise decision that this is a poor allocation of resources. Society's total utility might go up if we move to point B and start producing housing. So to produce 10 units of housing, we'll need to take factors of production out of NHS healthcare. If we do that, the output of NHS healthcare will fall from 100 to 95 units. So the opportunity cost of producing those first 10 units of housing is 5 units of NHS healthcare given up. So let's imagine that we want to do the same again. We want to increase the output of housing by another 10, from 10 to 20. So that will involve moving from point B to point C. Again, to produce those extra 10 houses, we'll need to take some more factors of production out of healthcare. This time the opportunity cost is higher. Output falls from 95 to 85, so that's a fall of 10. So you can see here that the marginal opportunity cost of producing the second block of 10 houses is higher than the first block of 10 houses. So this again is illustrating the idea of marginality. The first 10 houses that we decided to build, the opportunity cost was 5 fewer units of NHS healthcare. The second block of housing that we wanted to produce, that created an opportunity cost of 10 fewer NHS units of output. So to recap, the economy started out at point A. All factors of production were employed producing NHS healthcare. 100 units of healthcare were produced, but no housing. Society now decides to begin producing housing. However, in order to do so, factors of production must be removed from the NHS so they can be moved into house building. The diagram shows that the opportunity cost of producing the first 10 units of housing is 5 fewer units of healthcare. Suppose that society wants to raise the output of housing again, this time from 10 to 20 units. In total, the opportunity cost of producing 20 units of housing is 15 units, 15 fewer units of healthcare. However, using marginal analysis, we can say that the marginal opportunity cost of increasing the output of housing from 10 to 20 units is a fall in the output of healthcare by 10 from 95 to 85 units.